in, we need to make a nut pate. We're going to divide this nut pate into 3 parts, and it will become 3 different recipes. But to start with, we just want to make a nut pate. So here we have 1 cup of pecans and 1 cup of almonds that have been soaked overnight and drained and rinsed off. We don't want any of that soap water in there with them because that is full of all the enzyme inhibitors. We're going to get rid of those. We won't need that. Now, we're just going to have this pate be all nuts. Now, we do want to have on hand a little bit of water, a little bit of olive oil, in the off chance that there's not enough moisture soaked into these nuts that we can make a nice pate. The other thing that we want to have on hand is some sort of a narrow spatula that you can go ahead and scrape the mixture at the bottom of the blender up towards the top, because you could use something like a juicer with a homogenizing blade to make a perfectly mixed blend of these nuts that would come out just ready to go in pate form. I personally have never found a juicer that I really fell in love with. Haven't found one that I didn't just return and get rid of. It was too much of a mess to clean up. I love my trusty Vitamix, so I ended up using that to make my nut pates. If you have a juicer with a homogenizing blade and you know how to use it, love to use it, go for it. But today we're going to use the Vitamix. So all we're going to do is put the soaked nuts in there. They should have plenty of moisture. We're going to put it down on variable. We're going to put the knob to 1 and we're going to turn it on. We're going to need the tamper on hand. This will push the nuts down towards the blade. First, we're going to get the lid on nice and secure. And this is going to be quite noisy. So I'll try not to talk too much while the blade is on, but we are going to go ahead and turn the blender on and just turn the speed up about halfway. Okay, we're going to turn it off. Now, if you notice, what I did there was I waited until I had relatively uniform sized pieces of nuts. They're still moving around. They're getting around on their own. I saw it was still moving well. I went ahead and turned up the speed just a little bit. I'm going to tap that off of there. And I'm just going to use the spatula to pull the nuts that are already starting to look a little bit creamy down at the bottom. I'm really careful not to mash this metal spatula up against the blades. I want to be real careful with those nice sharp Vitamix blades. But I do want to move this all around. So I have the firmer nuts that are getting packed together. Move those up to the top. And let the larger pieces come to the bottom. Now you may need to do this a few times, but it looks to me like there's plenty of moisture in here. We're going to get a nice firm nut pate. We're going to just repeat this a couple of times until we get to the perfect texture, and I will show you what the end result looks like. Again, I notice it stops turning on its own. So I know it's time for me to go ahead and turn the mixture over. We're already really close. So we may just do this one time to make sure we have a nice, consistent texture to our nut pate. As you can see, this is certainly not complicated, not rocket science. Very, very easy to do. Some people say, oh, it takes such a long time to do raw foods, but you know what? That soaking happened while I was sleeping, so I don't know about you, but I really don't count that in terms of preparation time. It definitely takes a little planning because you have to think ahead, but other than that, really simple. Okay, one last time here. Ooh. Okay, this is looking really good. We did not need any of the water or any of the olive oil. It's coming out totally fine. It's better if we don't need the oil or the water because we want to save all the liquid or moisture in the dish. We want to save that for the flavorings. So it's good that we didn't need to do that. So this pate looks really good. It's not quite as smooth as like a nut butter. It's definitely firmer than that. It has a texture definitely like a pate, like a goose liver pate or something like that. So this is perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add to this a vegetable mixture that will make the base pate. So we want to add a few more things to this. So we're going to move on from here by getting out the food processor and putting some veggies in there and completing our nut pate.